Hello again! Had to try this opening a couple of times because the last time something didn't want to record. And of course I had to sleep because it was raining, because it's always raining on this server. Anyway, managed to deal with one of our slime chunk issue. I was close. I thought I threw that in there. One of our... You mind? I hate these frickin' baby zombies. Go away. Nobody likes you. Worst thing to happen to the game. Anyone else? Okay. Figured out what to do with one slime chunk. That was to make it totally non-spawnable through digging a big ass hole. So it's F3G. There is the chunk. There's nothing within this chunk that can cause slimes to spawn. That's one problem down. And I managed to kind of rag it out a bit so it doesn't exactly look like one giant chunk. Also carried on the rock layers here. The problem is that it doesn't match with that big sprush over there, as though the layers came down and like that. That's gonna have to change because if I go over here, about 4 or 5 blocks down is diorite there. So diorite has to be the same level here. I'll have to think of something to do with that in the future. Also, the canyon has been properly... I've got some iron to get rid of there. No stone on me. The idea behind a bunch of this was that the pit mine was also where the Diamond Society's Aztec cultures got all of their gold, or at least a very large amount of it. Now, yeah, you notice there's a whole bunch of gold in here. I've decided that while yes, the pit mine is going to have been abandoned, it's going to have been abandoned a bit more recently than you might think. I've also got some rubble piles here. This lets me do things like hide glass, so I can have natural light downstairs. Because I gotta put a carpet here or something. Natural light lights up an area way better than torches ever will. And because of the way I had things... effing slimes. Because of the way I had things built down there, I had a lot of shadows in the ceilings. And I wasn't a big fan of that. Whoops, I'll need that. Not you. And this baby zombie guts can turn to dust. There. Now you're asking, well, why did they build this giant... They managed to pit mine all of this. Why would they build a giant hole here? Well, it's not like... Which way do I start this one? I want to put it over here. The Aztecs were great builders. I don't actually know anything about their how they mined anything. Let's not use straight that. I'll admit, I haven't looked very much. I am far more of a European culture kind of guy. Just because it's what you grew up in. This needs to be... I'm at 3x4, I'm fine with that. But mining methods everywhere are pretty much, you know, the same. You dig a great big hole. You use counterweights and levers, because that's one of the very early things to figure out. Like even the people who built Stonehenge, working with logs and ropes, that the lever is one of the first things you figure out. And once you figure out how to properly cantilever something, it becomes very easy to pick up and move large loads. Also, having rope, really important too. No, you want it to be like this. Come here. That. So what this needs, we're going to cover this over the top so I don't have to worry about using too much acacia logs. And yes, I'm wasting a stone brick there. Or a cracked brick. That's because it's... Do you think I'm short on stone? I kind of have a lot of stone. So we'll run this beam out here. We'll run another one out back this way. And this end is going to have a big counterweight on it. And what I didn't grab was a bunch of yellow glass. Which means the time I get done this, I'll have to go and get some. So that's it that way. We put a weight on the end here. Now I don't know how well stone weight would work. But I'm not sure what else I would put there because at the very least I want this to be look like, you know, it's something that was built and put on there rather than just hung from it. I mean, you don't build structures that last thousands of years without putting a little bit of flash into what you're doing. Might also have helped if I had brought one of those many crafting tables over here with me. And there. Should give me enough. Big block of stone on the end of this beam. Let's make it look really, really fancy by doing that. You throw in some of this mossy. It has to look like it's been here a while. And although it, you know, the moisture and, you know, general water content of a jungle, there's, you know, moss grows everywhere. If you have been anywhere that's got a lot of humidity, you know how hard it is to keep moss and mildew down. That. This needs to be a look more interesting. Not quite sure how. But, seeing as I have to go downstairs to grab some... Actually, can I do it from here? Which area was it? That. Through one of these walls is my big storage room. Now that I've forgotten which one, I have to go all the way back down there. The long way. Just to get the glass I forgot to bring up the first time. Back in just a second. I tell you, you take one nap, this place just comes right apart. What do you get? Ooh, chain boots, cool. Got my glass. What I forgot to bring was something easy to mine up, like gravel. But I've got enough of everything else, I don't have to worry too much. And I got more gold ore. So this thing is... Let's just climb on top of it, shall we? Nope, that... No matter how many clocks you have, you can't climb them. So from here... Do I have one more? Nope, I don't have. I put a cap on the end to cover that ugly, cover that ugly orange wood up. Because I just don't like... It's supposed to be an old log. So having a big chunk of orange there doesn't help me any. So I think I want to come up here, don't I? Right spot, right spot. Okay. Doot, 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 doot. All the way up. Let's get you ready. Up, 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 and... Look, rope! One of the nice things about the way glass works now is actually really nice. I like this. This is cool. That, and it's going to be bringing up. They left a chunk of gold ore sitting here because something happened. Something chased them away at the last minute. And I'm thinking it's going to have to do with that big-ass tower over there that I've been trying to save ever since I started this project. Shut you off. Am I going to make it up here? I'm not going to make it up here, am I? This isn't going to make it. If I do this... I've also been hoarding gold ore ever since I started. I don't think I've smelted a single one yet. If I have, I've done it by accident. trying to hold on to all my gold ore the moment I thought of this pit mine project. And I went through a lot of it just decorating those walls. All the way up here. And up. Okay, cool. In the gravel here, I want to decorate this a bit more. As though this is stuff that has kind of washed off the walls. Yeah, here's good. Kind of out of the general environment, right? There we are. So this, like this, obviously they wouldn't have built this. This would have happened when the water came over the sides, started flooding things, flooded the mine long after it was left. Over here, I need a pile of gold ore. Let's be cheap, even though I know we don't have to be. I would like slabs and stairs of ores. I'm not sure how you would implement that, but it would be really nice. Because then you can make piles of stuff that were a bit more realistic. That up. Stuff they were mining. Let's grab. Need a top slab. Yes, I need a top slab. That. Let's make this cart extra big, shall we? Over to you. We'll need a thing to pull with. Oh, that's got to go one more, otherwise it's going to look silly. Do here. That. Some ore. A yoke. Some wheels. Which I understand don't really, really read as wheels, but you work with what you got. So I'm going to keep it all inside the vehicle. Give us a place for dude to sit. Yeah, it doesn't quite touch the ground, unfortunately, but it reads as a cart, right? It reads as a cart. Do I have one more gate? Yes. Unfortunately, isn't going to... Not you. Isn't going to match up with that, is it? No. So that's as far as our yoke gets to go. And then I have nothing on me that counts. Well, let's see. These don't work as hubcaps, do they? Nope, that looks terrible. I don't know what I would put there. Wouldn't be cookies, wouldn't be nothing like that. But anyway, it's a cartload of gold that didn't get to go anywhere because of what happened. As we said, the place has been abandoned. The abandonment is going to be a result of that. It happened, I realized after I'd gone and decorated all of this, that this somewhat messed with, but still naturally occurring ravine, because this is an actual ravine that actually happened, this should have come out of that. The problem being that a ravine ends here, and I have stuff built to here. It's a bit of an issue. I should have made it so something come up out of this ravine and did that. It's still going to happen. I have to figure out how. I've got, let's see, we're at Y30? 30. If I go down a little ways, I can go down to the top level of the storage disaster area and my tree farm. Where are we here? You know, we might actually be just below things, aren't we? We're at... Oh, god damn it. I can dig down a bit, but then I have to dig into all of this. Well, it's just a tree farm. It's not that important. It's a tree farm. You can build them anywhere. Because this needs to be part of why the pit mine was abandoned. Everyone else is building stuff to up to big height. I've decided that this is going to be, that's going to still be a tree. That's why it's still got all that stuff. We have most of our original tree is still up there. It's going to be incorporated into the, the larger tree that's going to sit on top of that. And this is going to have to be, that's quite the vine farm. This is going to have to be a pillar of some kind. Believe it or not, I'm actually thinking obsidian. Now that they've changed the obsidian texture to be more of a lightly textured blackish purple instead of the heavily textured stuff it was before. I think it's going to be a lot easier to work with. I think I can add it, andesite, a couple other things that have something that just sort of comes out of the ground. Although it's going to be something that was kind of there and they just chipped away around it as they came down. And somehow connected to this. Of course, it's night again. But we got this done over here. This might need a little more extra stuff around the sides. I don't want to go with chests. Chests are something... Chests are not the way you would be storing stuff temporarily out there. Chests would be a permanent storage. I don't want to go with more piles of rubble, so I'll have to think of something. But anyway, this has been a bit of an update on what's going on here. I will try to do a bit more of this. I also have to light up an awful lot of stuff, aren't I? So one thing I was going to do before I take off here. This big thing here, that's 2 slime chunks. As you can tell by the fact there's a slime blomping around out there being a stupid ass slime. And I was going to make like a big storehouse for people. Like, I got to work in the area too, right? And one of these days, I'll get myself an elytra. So it can be like fly in, grab stuff, fly out. And instead of having to go all the way down there, I was going to build a storehouse here. And my thumbnail of it looked really good, but I forgot that. That zombie spawner that I want to keep as a convenient drowned farm. So now I have to rethink how I'm going to do that without throwing off the symmetry of the building and having some way... Where the hell did you come from? You are not flying all the way up here just to pester me. Yeah, without throwing off the symmetry of the building. Too much. I'm okay with a little bit of asymmetry, but when you're building a building, you want it to look like you've, put effort into planning and stuff. But one last view of the pit mine here, and I will see you guys in the future.